class discussion is important?
They're important, especially in groups, because there are oftentimes students who feel uncomfortable talking to professors straight on. And so when you're surrounded by your peers, you're more likely to voice your opinions or say what thoughts you came up with while, say, reading an article that you had to do for class.
Great, okay. And so what are some problems that you may have had with class discussion or observed?
Personally, if I talk a lot, so I think that maybe if there was like something like a little more organization that the professor might have, like even like a timer, like if this is for like group discussion, or another thing for group discussion, people like they tend to go and discuss with their friends, which leads to people getting off topic. So I say if a professor wants to implement group discussions, they should make lists and not allow students to necessarily make their own groups. And then also if it's going to be a class discussion, especially for some of my Spanish classes, I had a grammar and conversation class. We would always have the best discussions when we would be put in a circle because everyone could see everyone and you wouldn't have to like turn in your desk, and it just would let the conversation flow a lot more smoothly.
Okay. So how would you prepare for class discussion if you do? Do you have any tricks?
Definitely read whatever I have to read or prepare by doing the actual assignment. And then for some of my classes we have like discussion leaders, so as a discussion leader you would come up with talking points or bullet points, and even if you're not a discussion leader, that's definitely a useful tool to have things that you want to say. If something strikes you, like write that down, just basically pick up what strikes you.
Alright, so I think you've already touched on this a little bit, but if you could maybe go into more detail, what makes for a good discussion?
I think for people to not be afraid to speak up. So definitely comfort. And as I said, like with the circle, like that would allow people to voice their opinions. Like we would talk about some controversial subjects in Spanish, but people were more likely to basically get in heated discussions when they could see each other because it's less awkward. You want to know what the person is thinking. And I think that goes as well for group discussions. Like the best are when people say what they think. And if you're about to say something and you decide not to, I say go ahead and say it, because what you could say might strike someone else the wrong way or the right way and lead to an even better discussion.
Very true. So can you think of any conversations, it sounds like particularly in your Spanish class, that have stuck with you? And if so, why was it so impactful?
I also think we've read several plays in one of my theater classes, and then we discuss it, and it's so interesting to hear other people's viewpoints because there are things you may have never thought of or didn't even realize what was going on in that person, like the playwright's life, but someone might have a lot more knowledge than you do about that particular playwright or that particular person or a particular issue.
Definitely.
And they can not only teach you about it, but it can help to form your own opinions. So when you leave the discussion or leave the classroom, you not only did your part as a student, but you also gained information just as a human being, and valuable information a lot of times.
All right, that's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was perfect.